Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, has made life very difficult for Kenya Kwanza leaders. Most of them can no longer go to the ground because Kenya Kwanza policies are very unpopular with the people. The ground has turned hostile and wild against Kenya Kwanza leaders. Yesterday, there was a funeral service for one of the MCAs who had passed on in Narok. That funeral was attended by who is who in Narok County. It was attended by the governor, the deputy governor, almost all MPs, almost all MCAs. Everybody in Narok County attended that funeral, including the cabinet secretary for environment, Soipan Tuya. Soipan Tuya was heckled.
Na ninamshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa wakati ambao nimefanya kazi kwa hii county na kwa wakati huu awamu mwingine ambaye mimi ni waziri katika serikali kuu. Na Mheshimiwa Sifuna, najua sisi tumewazoea. You choose to see the glass as half full, half empty. Sorry. Let me tell it to you properly. Tumewazoea. You choose to see the glass as half empty. We choose and purpose to see the glass as half full as a government of the day. You know how wananchi might not understand the complexities of issues, but you understand that the strategic decisions made by the Kenya Kwanza administration led by His Excellency William Ruto have led to the market forces changes that we see happening around. Na tunawaomba wananchi tusimame pamoja na tuendelee mbele. Ndugu yetu hapa Kudate.
And why was Soipan Tuya being heckled? The truth of the matter is that when ODM arrived, that is Edwin Sifuna, because the MCA who died was an ODM MCA. When Edwin Sifuna and Eddie Okech, the Migori senator, arrived, the MC announced that they would not want politics to be played during that funeral. But Edwin Sifuna ni nani? Listening to Edwin Sifuna explaining why those guys didn't want politics in quote during that funeral.
Iko shida gani? Nataka watu wa relax. Mheshimiwa Governor, huu ni mwaka wangu wa 7 kama katibu mkuu wa chama cha ODM. Niko na experience kubwa sana ya kukuja hafla hapa katika county ya Narok. Ukitaka kujua mambo ni mbaya, watu ya ODM wakiingia, unasikia watu wanaanza kusema leo hatutaki siasa. Leo msiende mambo mingi. Sasa nataka uangalie mwenzako mwambie a relax. ODM imefika.
But why was Tuya heckled? The truth of the matter is that Tuya was heckled because she was trying to respond to these comments by Edwin Sifuna, which the residents of Narok received widely.
Tunataka viongozi waseme ukweli mbele ya wananchi. Na nyinyi wananchi nataka kuwashukuru sana. Dawa ya kiongozi muongo ni kumwambia kwa uso yake unadanganya. Vile ambavyo mumefanya kwa huyu ndugu yangu Tongo hiyo, anataka kudanganya juu ya bei ya unga. Kumbe wa Masai wako rada. Na ingekuwa Waluya je ingekuwa namna gani? Sisi ndio tunajua bei ya unga. Mheshimiwa Tongo hiyo, usikuje kuambia hii watu ya hapa ati mambo ya dola. Kama uko na dola hapa kwa hii tent, kuja nikubadilishie saa hii. Hakuna Masai hapa hako na dola. Dola ya kufanya nini? Tunataka bei na gharama ya maisha ishuke chini, si ndio? Jana wamepitisha mswada kule kwenye bunge kuongeza ushuru tena mambo ya housing. Mimi nataka kumwambia Mheshimiwa Soipan Tuya, wewe uliingia bunge halafu ukaenda kuwa waziri. Sikupata muda kujuana na wewe kwa sababu ulikuwa senator. Lakini tulijivunia kama maseneta tukasema kuna senators wawili wanaingia katika bunge la waziri. Watakuwa wanakumbusha kila siku. Akijaribu kuharibu ugatuzi, wanamkumbusha hapana, hii mambo ya devolution usiharibu. Lakini tumeshangaa Mheshimiwa Soipan, Hii mswada mumeleta ya housing. Mnajua housing is a devolved function. Hiyo ni mambo inatakiwa tukue tunazungumza na governor Ntutu. Governor, ulikuanga mtu yetu ya Azimio. Hii vitu huwezi kuwa umesahau. Huwezi kuwa umesahau. Governor, huwezi kuwa umesahau. The discussion ya kitu kama maji. Governor, water is a devolved function. Inakuwaje mimi nakutetea wewe ya kwamba maji iwachwe iwe function ya county. Lakini ukikuwa na Ruto wewe umwambii. Sasa mimi nalia, I am crying more than the bereaved governor. Tafadhali, Mheshimiwa Soipan, ambia Ruto ukweli. Devolved functions ibaki devolved function. Mimi pamoja na Ledamba, wakati mswada wa housing unakuja kwa Senate, mimi watu wa Nairobi wameniambia niangushe hiyo mswada. Watu wa Narok mumeambia nini huyu mwanaume? Apitishe ama angushe? Haya. Kuna mswada mwingine wanataka kutoa maji kwa counties, ati wachukue mashirika ya mabwanyenye ndio itakuwa inasambaza maji Kenya mzima. Watu wa Nairobi wameniambia niangushe hiyo mswada. Ledama mnamwambia nini? Angusha. Ledama umesikia? Kabisa. Asante sana, Mungu awabariki. Asante sana.
And I know the biggest question most of you are asking is why is it that Kenya Kwanza leaders are being heckled across the country? Because if you've been following the politics of this country, Boni Alwale used to really sell Kenya Kwanza policies in Kakamega. He stopped. Boni Alwale is nowadays just selling himself as Boni Alwale. Didmas Baraza used to be one of the main guys selling Kenya Kwanza in Bungoma. All of a sudden, Didmas Baraza is now busy just selling his agenda, what is going to do to the people of Bungoma should he become the next governor. In Kikuyu Nation, almost all members of parliament can no longer go to the ground because the ground is hostile. They are hiding in Nairobi. So I was not surprised with the heckling of this cabinet secretary. In fact, she was not alone. There was even an MP who was heckled there. But why are they being heckled? That's exactly what I want to explain to you guys on this platform. But before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. Why do you think Kenya Kwanza leaders are being heckled across the country? The truth of the matter is that, number one, Kenya Kwanza is no longer listening to the ground. If you were to refer to the time Kenya Kwanza were campaigning across the country and compare to what they are doing currently, you'll be shocked. Previously, they would listen to what the ground was saying. A typical case is the BBI. You know, BBI was very unpopular with majority of Kenyans. That is the honest truth. So Kenya Kwanza listened to the voices of those who are opposed to the BBI, and they then opposed it. Currently, Kenyans are opposed to so many things. The things Edwin Sifuna was alluding to. But Kenya Kwanza are not listening. Kenya Kwanza is not listening to them. So because of that, Kenyans are now tired with them. And the only way they can express that is through heckling. So they don't have peace across the country. Number two, and this is specific to Narok, ODM party is the dominant party in Narok County. That is the honest truth. If you look at the presidential results of Narok and you compare to the gubernatorial results, you'll realize that there's a lot of discrepancies. Let me just break down for you the presidential results in Narok. In Narok County, Raila Odinga got 102,000 votes. Ruto got 98. Ruto got 92,000 votes. If you add that, they come to 194. I remember Wajakoya got were they 300 votes, something like that. So generally, the votes between Raila and Uhuru, if you add, the truth is, if you add Raila votes and Ruto's votes and Wajakoya the fifth, the presidential did not even reach 200,000. But how come when you go to now the governor, Ole Ntutu got 160,000 votes. Ole Kenta, the ODM candidate, got 148,000 votes. That's almost over, because there are other candidates, that's almost over 300,000 votes. So which means the difference between the gubernatorial votes and the presidential votes were over 100,000. In fact, I was just looking at those results and I'm wondering, where were ODM agents in Narok? Because clearly over 100,000 votes were of Raila Odinga were never posted. That's what you can conclude. Or you can conclude that if that was not the case, then it simply means that they rigged in the governor. But again, the question is, how many people were registered in Narok to vote? So I can go with the votes by the governors, the gubernatorial candidates. So it means Raila Odinga's votes, over 100,000, was suppressed here, simply because ODM did not have agents. And because of that, the people of Narok are expressing. And I remember listening to the speech by Ole Kenta. He told these guys that alishinda kura. Number 3, the unpopular policies. You see, because Kenya Kwanza policies are very unpopular with the people. Someone like Edwin Sifuna, who is in opposition, can easily go there, point out the weaknesses. He will go, he will take credit for that. People will clap for him. If you take, for example, housing, and culturally you look at Masais, what houses are you building for them? Really? Their needs and what you are telling them are not converging at any point. So if you were to sell the idea of housing, low-cost housing, to people in Nairobi, it would make sense. But to Narok people, they don't see. And because life is also very difficult, opposition are able to just link the two. And that's why Kenya Kwanza is going to still continue having problems. And lastly, William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza made unrealistic promises to Kenyans. Now, the other day, I listened to Ruto when he was addressing Kenya Kwanza leaders in Naivasha. And what the guy is saying really don't make sense about jobs. There are certain things if you do, people will just see, people will just feel. For example, if you make health care services available, people are sick. People will just go to hospital, they'll be treated, they'll say, okay, siku hizi ile hospitali, nowadays it's good. You won't need to explain to them. If Kenyans are getting opportunity to go abroad, it will just be there. Nothing will stop them from seeing. If you create employments, if these housing units or projects are bringing some change, then in areas where they are being constructed, people should be able to feel. But we are not feeling. So Ruto made promises and is still making promises, and that's why Kenya Kwanza are very angry. That's why Kenyans are very angry with his leaders. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.